anybody has the questions for the speakers of these sessions, Dr. Gyanidas G. Wadhwani sir and Advocate Akash Verma, you can ask.
You can ask for the 2 sessions which have been held.
Dr. Gyan sir and Dr. Akash, Advocate Akash Verma, please be seated on the stage.
I think first we'll take up for legal aspect, because for Gyan it may be a lot of questions. So legal aspect is fresh in your mind. If there are any questions you want to ask, please.
Is there any difference between private practitioners and charitables or government agencies for the law? Is there? Like when we are taking money from the patient, is there any difference in law for that?
Am I audible? Yeah. So there is no white and black answer for this, because there are many Supreme Court judgments who say that whenever you are taking money, you comes under the definition of services which is there in the Consumer Protection Act. So in that case, the liability would be absolute of the doctor. However, if it is for the purpose of charitable, you are not taking any money from the person, so it will not come under the ambit of services which is there in the Consumer Protection Act. However, in case there is a sheer medical negligence on the part of the doctor or on the agency, in that case they can be liable, but the quantum of compensation would be low. So the quantum of compensation would be determined whether that person, that particular service strictly comes under the ambit of Consumer Protection Act or not. Because if there is a medical negligence, then not only the civil remedies, the person, the aggrieved, the victim, they can also make prosecution complaint against the doctor or against any authority under IPC, Indian Penal Code, and in that case there would be penal action.
Secondly, is there any law, like in case of emergencies, somebody is giving CPR but he is not trained for that? So can he, even then patient may die, or patient has almost died?
Yes.
So can he be sued after that?
So very intelligent question, very nice question. So whenever it comes to the criminal law, there are two things: actus reus and mens rea. I'll simplify it for you. Actus reus is the conduct of a person who is doing anything, and mens rea is the intention of a person. So any act would become crime only when there is a combination of the act coupled with the mental involvement. So in your scenario, the person is conducting the task in a good faith. So whenever there is a good faith, exceptions will also work in the favor of the person who has conducted the particular act. Anything else?
There is one clarification required. As in case of charitable or government dispensary, doctors working in charitable or government dispensaries, will the compensation be implied on both dispensary management and government, or what will be the scenario?
Sir, again I would say that in these kind of scenarios there is no white or black answer. There cannot be yes or no, because everything depends on the circumstances case. If there is an involvement, if the agency, the NGO is actively involved in the decision making of everything, because there are two type of agencies.
In general, they are not involved in treatment.
In general, if they are not involved, then the doctor would be liable. Doctor would be liable.
Actually, I have few questions, mainly related to homeopathy. Now on Facebook and WhatsApp, there are a lot of doctors who are posting the videos claiming they have treated so many patients, and with homeopathy this can be done, that can be done. How this can be regulated? Is it the WhatsApp or other company that will regulate, or it will be regulated by Indian laws?
So first of all, WhatsApp is not a regulating authority. WhatsApp will only do whatever is said or done or enacted by the parliament. WhatsApp cannot do anything independently. And secondly, all the professionals, including us lawyers, we are barred from advertising our services to the public, because it is considered that we are acting for the benefit of the society, and we are doing something which will uplift the society as a whole. But however, even in our scenario, even in our cases as lawyers, people are advertising, people are posting judgments. In your case also, people are posting videos. So this can be protected by putting a disclaimer or by taking a consent. If you put a disclaimer before any video, before any image, that we are not advertising our services, this is only for the purpose of education, to spread awareness to the public, then indirectly आप उसको ओवरलैप कर सकते हैं जो आपके ऊपर एक राइडर लगा हुआ दैट यू कैन नॉट एडवर्टाइज, बिकॉज इन द करेंट सिनारियो data and internet is the thing. Without it, you cannot do anything. Even today, if I have to go to a doctor or a CA, I will instantly search whether the person is registered here or there, whether the person has any video on that particular topic or not. So these things are indispensable. And I hope that in the upcoming future, this thing will be removed from the legislature and it will be directly allowed that you can post your videos for the information as well as for the public purpose.
Thanks a lot. My second question is, you said there should be an exhaustive prescription. But in homeopathy, there are a lot of homeopaths who are not disclosing the medicines they are giving. So what is the situation for them?
Sir, if they are not doing it, then maybe today or maybe in future, if their medicines will have some adverse effect on a patient and the patient will sue them, then how will they prove it that what medicine they have given? आपने पानी दिया है, आपने दवाई दिया है. How it will be deciphered? So it is for their own benefit, it is for their own good that they should do it. Because if they are doing it, if they are concealing it just for the monetary purpose, then you do not know that how high the monetary compensation would be imposed by the court if a patient goes to the court for medical negligence. उस टाइम पे तो you will save your 1,000 or 50,000 rupees, but when court will impose a penalty upon you, then it would be in lakhs. So this is the thing. So this is my request to everybody, wherever possible. In fact, in every case, if you believe, then you must have an exhaustive prescription for the same.
Generally, prescription is kept with the doctor. It is not given to the patient unless he demands it. So if the records are with the doctor, even then this situation will.
I beg to differ with this. Maybe it is the practice in homeopathy that the prescription are kept by the doctors. But in allopathy as well as in other things, the prescription are given to the patient because it is the fundamental right of the patient.
It's true, but if it is with the doctor, then
How will the patient know that what medicine is prescribed to him? This is the thing. If I have signed some document and the document is meant for somebody else and I'll keep that document in my custody, then what is the relevance of that document? In this particular situation also, the patient can sue the doctors that there is lack of services by the patient because doctor-patient relationship comes under the ambit of Consumer Protection Act. These are services.
One more question. Okay. Abhi, yeah. Actually,
If we give the prescription to the patient, there are chances that the patient will be misusing it, and then the symptoms might occur. Even if he does not come
No,
again.
just
Ma'am, even if
one
he
by
does not come again,
Please one.
the problem is not the patient will not come again. The problem
One by
is
one.
Advertising of some medicines.
The problem is he will be taking a medicine to be my habit.
And asking.
I'll tell you one thing. Allopathy doctors होते हैं, they prescribe Ciprofloxacin और Combiphone to a patient. ठीक है? वो साइन करके patient को दे देते हैं. Now tell me, it is the prerogative of the patient or it is the prerogative of the doctor to stop the patient to take extra medicine? Tell me this thing. It is the prerogative of the patient. You have to comply your duty. You are not concerned about the patient in terms of legal consequences because the patient will not come to you कि डॉक्टर साहब मैंने आपकी कंप्लेंट तो कर दी है, अच्छा आपने मेरे अच्छे के लिए करा था तो कोर्ट ने 50 लाख का कॉम्पेंसेशन दिया, मैं आपको 25 लाख अपनी जेब से दूंगा, 25-25 शेयर करते हैं. होगा ऐसा कभी? So why are you concerned about it? You whenever it comes to legal consequences, the court will only see the documents. So it is your primary duty to give the document to the patient. Thereafter, you can prove to the court that he has taken overdose of a particular thing or he has not even taken the prescribed dose. That is a prerogative which is to be decided at a later stage. But prima facie, if you are not giving the prescription to a patient, then this particular thing also, what is it? It is a lack of service at your part. I hope I have answered this question.
Yeah, one more question. Let me discuss a true story. अभी आजकल क्या है कि हम सब टेलीमेडिसिन है तो आउटसाइड इंडिया भी सबके पेशेंट्स हैं जिनको हम कंसल्टेशन दे रहे हैं. Few years back, I gave a consultation to a person in US. A simple for gastritis, Naxvomica 200 was prescribed. लेकिन after he was getting better, but he developed some other symptoms.
Okay.
Maybe some vertigo, or then he consulted a specialist over there. उन्होंने कहा अरे Naxvomica तो poison है. Because in the crude Naxvomica is a poison, but not in homeopathic medicine it's not a poison. Then for me he just stopped taking my consultation. लेकिन हमें आगे से और पेशेंट्स के साथ क्या ऐसी रखना चाहिए कि मतलब he could have sued me after you gave me some wrong medicine. So आगे से हमें और क्या सावधानी रखनी चाहिए कि for some, like one is in consent is there. What other precautions we can take?
I'll tell you another example also. The thing which happens in your profession is it happens in every profession. Suppose a client comes to me and I will recommend him a particular strategy. He will record that strategy and he will go to another lawyer, and that lawyer will tell him, oh, this strategy will make you to get into trouble. This is the worst strategy I have ever seen. So how will that patient know that what is the best strategy for him? It is not for the patient to know that what is the best strategy for him. It is up to the doctor, it is up to the professional that he must use his due diligence, he must use his code of conducts which are applicable to him and prescribe the best medical treatment, the best strategy for the patient. If you have done so, then you can easily prove in the court that according to my knowledge, according to my book, according to my literature, the patient showed these kind of symptoms and I prescribed these kind of medicines. You getting my point? So the moment I said that there are two things, actus reus and mens rea. So it is a combination of two things, actus as well as causing the intention. When these two things will combine, the offense will be committed. But in case of medical negligence, it is one of the exceptions to this rule. In medical negligence, what happens is, the court will move with the presumption that the person has given the consent in dominance. Because we are acting in a fiduciary relationship and genuinely we stand in a position to take the consent of the patient. Be it is a professional of doctor or a lawyer. So in that case, the court will look into the medical literature, that what are the medical literatures available. The court will form a panel, be it is a consumer forum or a civil forum. And the opinion of the panel will be taken into consideration to decide the issue. So in that case, if you are adopting the suggested medical practice, a suggested treatment which is there in your literature, then you are safe.
My question is also related to Dheeraj's question. Actually, homeopathy is legally not allowed in Europe and US. In India, it is allowed. Now, if there is a patient in Europe, Australia, है हमारे सभी के हैं, कनाडा में, US में, जो हमारे से ट्रीटमेंट लेते हैं ऑन कॉल और या टेलीमेडिसिन से, what precautions we should take for that?
Sir, in that case, there is a jurisdictional clause. Now, that will go another part. It is totally a legal thing, but I can give you a plain idea of that. You can, if you have a major practice in foreign laws, for example, if you have 80% of your clients are foreigners, and in that country the homeopathy medicine is not available. But matter is that you are sitting in India and the patient is coming to you. So you can have a small disclaimer, or you can have a small clause that in case of any dispute, the laws of India would be prevalent, and you are aware that this particular mode of medicine is not applicable to your country, but still you are giving your consent to be treated by the homeopathy medicine, which is a valid medical practices adopted in India. In that case, you can bypass it.
एक क्वेश्चन एक मेरा लास्ट है हाँ, इसीलिए मैंने सेशन है तो फिर फायदा उठाया जाए, तो फीस देनी पड़ेगी तो पैसे पूछने जाएंगे. अभी बहुत से जो एक्सरे की रिपोर्ट्स होती हैं या प्रिस्क्रिप्शंस होती हैं, अल्ट्रासाउंड की रिपोर्ट्स होती हैं, उन पर लिखा होता है दिस इज़ नॉट फॉर मेडिको लीगल प्रोसेस या पर्पस। तो वो क्या, उसको हम क्या लें एज कि मतलब हम कल को कोई प्रॉब्लम हम जा सकते हैं, नहीं जा सकते?
आई टेल यू वन थिंग, जो ये लिखा होता है ना मेडिको लीगल पर्पस, ये इसलिए लिखा होता है बिकॉज वेन एवर अ केस गोज इन टू द कोर्ट एंड देयर आर सम मेडिकल थिंग्स विच आर इन्वॉल्व, तो इन दैट सिनारियो द कोर्ट विल अपॉइंट एन एक्सपर्ट. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, यू मस्ट हैव सीन द MLCs, medical legal reports, and in other scenarios also court will appoint a panel and that panel will give its report to the court and the court will consider that report only. So whenever it is written on the prescription or on an X-ray that it is not to be used for medical legal purposes, so that particularly thing means that you cannot use this prescription to prove something in the court.
Is it a valid sum, but is it that it is not valid? Does it mean anything?
No, yes, because whenever it goes to the court can summon the doctor. Now tell me, what have you written in this case? The court can anytime summon the document.
That means that our prescription cannot be used as direct evidence in the court.
Yes.
That is the only.
Suppose if you have written that the person is suffering from cold and the person goes to the court कि भाई मेरे को तो cold नहीं हुआ था, कुछ और हुआ था, तो that particular thing cannot prove in court that the person was suffering from the cold. You have to prove it by evidences. So that is why I told you that medical laws and legal laws, these are intermingled. जैसे मैगी होती है ना, आपस में इतनी उलझी हुई होती है. So these things are like this only, and we sincerely have to spread this awareness in the fraternity.
Thank you, thanks a lot. It was very interesting. Again, there is a question. Please go ahead.
You already mentioned that if we are not expertise or we don't have a training in prescribing allopathic or Ayurvedic medicines, we should not prescribe them, right? What if a allopathic practitioner is prescribing homeopathic medicines?
Same consequences. If a patient sues that particular person that he is prescribing homeopathy medicine, same consequences. Even if a Ayurvedic doctor is prescribing allopathy medicine, same consequences would be there.
Ma'am?
सर कोई भी केमिस्ट किसी भी डॉक्टर के प्रिस्क्रिप्शन के बिना प्रिस्क्राइब नहीं करते हैं, केमिस्ट जो होते हैं. वैसे सपोज होम्योपैथी में भी जैसे किसी ने डॉक्टर ने प्रिस्क्राइब कर दी 1 वीक की मेडिसिन एंड देन दे गो टू डिफरेंट डॉक्टर एंड उनको वही प्रिस्क्रिप्शन लिखा के कि प्लीज रिपीट द मेडिसिन. तो इज इट अलाउड कि, या फिर जो सेकंड डॉक्टर है उनको जो पहले डॉक्टर है उनसे कॉल पे बात करनी चाहिए कि आप इस पेशेंट को सेकंड वीक के लिए भी दे सकते हैं या नहीं?
Can you please repeat your question?
आई विल रिपीट कि जैसे एलोपैथी में कोई भी केमिस्ट है वो बिना प्रिस्क्रिप्शन के मेडिसिन नहीं दे सकते हैं.
2 तरीके के ड्रग्स होते हैं. एक होते हैं ओवर द काउंटर ड्रग्स which can be given by the chemist without even prescription.
ओके.
और एक होते हैं जो ओवर द काउंटर नहीं मिलते, जो शेड्यूल्ड ड्रग्स की कैटेगरी में आते
और होम्योपैथी किस में आएगी?
हैं. सॉरी
होम्योपैथिक मेडिसिन
मैम, देयर इज एन पर्टिकुलर एक्ट, ड्रग्स एंड कॉस्मेटिक्स एक्ट. उस एक्ट के अंदर डिफरेंट शेड्यूल्स हैं.
मेरा पूछने का था कि किसी पेशेंट ने किसी एक डॉक्टर से प्रिस्क्रिप्शन लिया मेडिसिन, उन्होंने 1 वीक की ली,
ठीक है.
उसके बाद सेकेंड टाइम वो किसी और डॉक्टर के पास जाता है और उनसे कहता है कि मुझे वो पहले वाली रिपीट कर दीजिए
ठीक है.
विदाउट डॉक्टर्स के कंसर्न के बिना. मतलब डॉक्टर से आप केस नहीं ले रहे हैं बट आप उनको कह रहे हैं, आप किसी केमिस्ट के पास ही जाके, होम्योपैथिक फार्मासिस्ट के पास ही जाके कह रहे हैं कि मेडिसिन वही सेम रिपीट कर दीजिए.
I think this depends on the judgment of second doctor. वो जो है वो उसको केस लेके दोबारा प्रिस्क्राइब करना चाहता है और ये एग्रीज कि हाँ अभी भी सिम्टम नक्सोमी का कहीं है, मैं रिपीट कर देता हूँ. तो इसमें लीगल कुछ नहीं है, ये डॉक्टर की नॉलेज के ऊपर है.
अलाउड मतलब
हाँ, ही कैन, भाई वो भी प्रैक्टिशनर है, उसको अथॉरिटी है प्रिस्क्राइब करने की, वो अपनी जजमेंट यूज
जैसे कह
करेगा.
रहे थे ना कि हमें प्रिस्क्रिप्शन देनी चाहिए पेशेंट को, हमें प्रिस्क्रिप्शन देनी चाहिए. जैसे वो कह रहे थे कि वैसे वो पेशेंट किसी और डॉक्टर के पास जाके सेम मेडिसिन
मतलब उस केस में उस डॉक्टर की जजमेंट काम आएगी, ये उसके ऊपर है। एज सच आप सिर्फ उसके बेसिस पे रिपीट नहीं कर सकते,
नहीं करनी
आपको
चाहिए।
अपनी इंटेलिजेंस यूज करनी है कि वो हाँ रिपीट करनी है या नहीं करनी। जब आप लिख रहे हो तो आपका ओनस है उसको ठीक जस्टिफाई
कहीं
करना।
फार्मासिस्ट से भी जाके डायरेक्ट वो मेडिसिन
वो पेशेंट की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, वो पेशेंट की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है।
एंड सेकेंडली मुझे क्वेश्चन पूछना था
अरे ज्ञान से भी तो पूछ लो उतने ही ज्ञान से पूछ लो। आगे मुझे करो।
सर जैसे सर आपसे है कि आपने बताया
लास्ट क्वेश्चन।
हम फोटोग्राफ या कुछ ऐसे अपलोड नहीं कर सकते। सपोज किसी में फेस डिस्क्लोज नहीं हो रहा है, सपोज अभी केस हमने वर्टिलिगो का देखा, उसमें हैंड वर्टिलिगो और सेकंड वो बेटर हो गया, वो अलाउड है?
Yes. If the photograph is not disclosing the identity of the
Identity of the
person,
person.
privacy of the person, then it is certainly allowed. But there is a catch. Suppose if you are posting my video, और आपने सिर्फ मेरा ये इतना एरिया ब्लर करा है, and any person who knows me can easily decipher by seeing the image that this is the image of Akash. So in that case, that would be violating of the privacy.
ठीक है।
However, it is a safeguard from my side that you should always take a consent. Now, consent can be a video recording. It can be a video recording, or it can be prescribed even below your prescription that you want to use this kit for educational purposes or medico-educational purposes, and the patient is giving the consent. You can take signature
Sir,
in the English one.
If in video recording, if patients know that I'm making his or her video,
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. It will go in the video if it is a continuous video.
yes, patient is also saying in the video कि I get cured by the patient doctor.
Yes.
So it's
There are patients who want something to be told to the public at last,
Yes,
so that
sir,
they
yes,
can
sir.
also protect themselves.
Hmm.
There are patients.
So that is also called in consent.
That is. The thing is, the consent should be taken. Consent can be express consent can be by words or oral, or it can be implied consent also. Suppose you are sitting in your room and a patient comes to you, वो आपको कुछ नहीं बताता कि मैडम मेरे को ट्रीटमेंट दे दो, कुछ दे दो, आते ही बताता मेरे को तो कोल्ड हो रहा है, and you prescribe a medicine. So that is also an implied consent.
Thank you so much, sir.
थैंक्स अ लॉट आकाश, थैंक्स, वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग। अभी डॉक्टर ज्ञान के लिए कोई क्वेश्चंस हो तो वी इनवाइट द क्वेश्चंस फॉर डॉक्टर ज्ञान। डॉक्टर सुशील वत्स।
मैंने इसीलिए कहा था ज्ञान से पूछ लो कि भाई मुझे क्वेश्चन पूछना है। ज्ञान, जो आपने केस दिया जिसमें आपने इग्नेशिया प्रिस्क्राइब किया था, माय क्वेश्चन इज कि व्हाट वाज योर प्रिस्क्राइबिंग, बिकॉज जस्ट टेकिंग इन द हिस्ट्री दैट हिज फादर डाइड एंड शी वाज क्लोज टू द फादर, you just mentioned that. What was the reaction of the patient? Because we cannot prescribe like that just because of the history.
So, the most striking feature was the grief that she experienced. And with that grief, every time she would speak about her father, there was a deep sigh. And along with that, as a concomitant, her extreme sensitivity of the nose, especially to tobacco. Nux moschata. For nux moschata, there would be other pattern of concomitant symptoms. So that's a common symptom of the disease. That's a common symptom of disease. So you have to go beyond that and then prescribe. Okay. What is unrelated to the pathology? Ma'am, generally they are considered symptomatic in nature. Yeah. But a lot of times they are mixed miasmatic disease conditions. Always.
Sir, I have a question that you have prescribed LM potencies. But at some places, like after 3, you have given 5. After 5, it's 10.
No, no, no.
So
we've not given all the sequential follow-ups.
So, is any reason for this? Why?
No, no, no. We've not given you sequential
Oh,
date
acha.
by date follow-up. So, it's like after 2 months, then we move on to 2 potencies later and so on and so forth.
Okay,
It's not-
otherwise it's
So
in-
we always go sequentially, starting from LM1 and higher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So no skipping in between
No,
is
no,
there.
absolutely not.
Okay.
No.
Thank you.